Hey card show vendors selling sports cards and Pokemon cards. I have some crucial tips and systems for you to help you make more money and pay less taxes. My name is Jonny Petrucco, an IRS enrolled agent and QuickBooks Pro advisor. And I have a number of Pokemon and sports card clients. So many of them, they sell online. And many of you also sell online, eBay, whatnot, through Instagram, Facebook groups. But quite a number of them also set up regularly at card shows. Whether they're just there at their local show or someone that I have that travels across the country and went to 25 shows last year. There are some crucial deductions that you should be taking, and I want to share some ways you can track all the expenses, all the movement of cash going on, and what's the best way to do that in a way that would be audit proof. Okay, so to start, let's talk about some of the basic deductions that you have. So first thing obviously is going to be the table fee. This card show maybe charges $100 for your setup. And so let's say that this card show is in your city about 10 miles away. In that case, you can just write off the miles. So there's a standard mileage rate of 70 cents a mile, 20 miles round trip, that'll be a $14 deduction. Okay, not much, but if you are taking the actual expense method and you're using your vehicle more than 50% for business, you may be able to write off more of your gas, your insurance, the repairs on your car. And if that car is more than 6,000 pounds, we have some flexibility to depreciate that even more. But let's say the card show is 100 miles away. It's very reasonable at this point for you to pay for a hotel and other travel expenses, such as tolls, parking. So all of these items should be captured and expensed as a deduction. Now, the best way to do this is definitely separate. If you don't already have a business bank account, put everything on that business credit card, rack up your points. Those points are going to be tax-free. And then everything on that business credit card will be a deduction. So now that we made it to the show, what if there's more than one of you? So of course you have your contract labor, payroll fees, and now you have all of your inventory and supplies. So your inventory purchases is always the largest expense, and there's a number of ways to calculate this, both cash and accrual method, but basically we want to keep track of what we purchased, and that will be a large expense. Obviously the Toploaders and all your other supplies and even giveaways. If you give away a card, remember to take that off as a cost of good. Another important deduction are meals. I've been to a number of card shows and I don't know when you can eat lunch, right? So you're stuck at your table. Even taking in Uber Eats might be difficult because of the congestion of that city. Nevertheless, whatever food you pay for while traveling is deductible. If you're away from your home of business, you can deduct snacks and meals. Just keep in mind that it's 50% deductible when you take that on the tax return. Okay, that should cover most of the major deductions. And so now that you're at the show, you might go to the ATM and withdraw some cash. Say you take out $1,000 so you can have cash on hand to buy deals. Now, how are you going to track all this, especially related to cash purchases? Now, hopefully, you probably already have some kind of system. I've seen a number of spreadsheets on how people track their purchases and sales. Of course, if it's going to be through Zelle or PayPal, digitally, you can have them write, here's the description of what they're purchasing or what you're purchasing. And that is now documented, and on your bookkeeping system, we can see what's happening there. But focusing on cash transactions, it's not easy. Okay, a lot is happening fast. How about trades? How would we handle that? So one thing at a time. Looking at cash transactions, I definitely recommend if someone comes up to sell you something and you make a cash purchase, go ahead and take a picture of your cash next to the cards. Just keep that in your records, because what does the IRS know? That $1,000 that you withdrew at the beginning of the day, how would they know that is something business related? They could just say, hey, you have no backup for cash. Let's just call this a distribution. That will not be in your favor. And so the cash taken out at the beginning of the card show, and then the cash deposited at the end of the card show, let's say it's $3,000. Okay, the IRS just sees, hey, $3,000 of income, $1,000 of personal distributions. So everything in between would be quite helpful to have a log, especially for cash going out and cash coming in. So not easy. I mean, quick note on your phone, or if you take pictures. Now some of you guys are, showing the camera what you got. So that's awesome. Maybe you have someone that's logging it for you. But to however system works for you, go ahead and keep track of all that the best you can. I like Google Forms. I do a quick little entry, very simple, minimal fields in that Google form. And that gives me a Google spreadsheet that populates and gives me the transactions that took place. Now for things that sell, you can take a simple approach, have like 2 separate wallets where you can put cash income and cash out. There's a lot of different ways to do this. And as you all know, you have something that works for you. But basically, if you're struggling and you would like some guidance on how to get a good system going, please reach out to me. I'm doing these free consultations. Would be happy to hear your situation and see how I can assist you. If you don't have a bookkeeping system, a way you can track and see for managerial purposes, hey, how profitable am I? I'm going to these card shows, but it feels like I'm coming out with less cash. I don't know how my business is working. Well, there's a lot of things. Your inventory is increasing. There are a number of expenses that you have in this business. And so if you want someone to help you understand what's happening and give you a system so that it's easier to go forward and you're empowered on how to track things, that's another way I help clients. And then of course, pay less taxes. So if you are, becoming a higher earner, 50K profit or more, 100K profit, there are a number of guys now that are hitting that. I have some great ways, not mentioned here, but there's some higher level tax strategies that we can employ to make sure that you are taking advantage of everything possible. Real briefly regarding trades. So technically, when you make a trade, and even if there's no cash involved, this is a sale in the eyes of the IRS. So my card, I purchased for $20 and now it's valued at $50. I trade that card for another card worth $50. The IRS would say you made a $30 profit on that trade. And so you would have 30 profit to pay tax on, and your cost basis for the new card is $50. In practice, do people do this? No. How would the IRS ever figure out and enforce it? There's not a way. So whatever consistent method you would choose, now, knowing that is the proper way, and there should be sales tax, but good luck finding people charging sales tax at card shows. Nevertheless, there are state tax authorities going around to tables requesting payment for their sales tax. There's a lot more to not get yourself in trouble here and keep a good compliance. But with that trade example, it's common, maybe you would take your cost of $20 and now you move it. It makes sense logically to move that now into your new card. You still have a cost basis of $20 and no sale occurs. But just letting you know, technically that is a sale in the eyes. And so, yeah, there's a lot of moving parts and one approach doesn't fit everyone. That's why I always try to customize things when I help people out. So anyway, there's more to say here. Maybe I'll make another video on vending and best tips for that. Leave a comment if you have any questions specifically that I can help you out with. And one more thing, I have these tax packs. This is your chance to pull a free tax return. So there's numbered cards in here. At a minimum, I wrote an ebook for card businesses, and there's 8 chapters in there, and this will really help you get more tips and more confidence in your business. Well, reach out anytime. I'm Jonny, and at Sports Card Tax Guy, I'm helping my clients trade their IRS stress for financial success. Talk to you soon.